A very good morning to all of you, my dear friends. This is Shafiq Ahmed, and you're all welcome to your favorite YouTube channel. Let's learn together.
So now we are going to check with the features that we have gone through about federalism. Now we will go through whether is our country India a federal country or not. Let us see. So the Constitution of India declared India as a union of states. The Constitution has declared that the India will be a union of states. It will all together merge. We will have a different type of states in India, and all will be living together. There will be a union. Like the first feature of federalism was saying about the division of power in holding together, that a larger country, a bigger country used to divide its power between different states, share power. So it did not use the word federation, but our constitution has not used the word federation. It has used the word union of states. But the Indian Union is based on the principles of federalism. So that we have gone through about the federalism principles. So it is clearly mentioned in the Constitution of India that India is a union of states. बहुत सारे states को मिलकर बना है ये country India. But the Indian Union of States, that states, is based on the principles of federalism that we will have to go through. Let us see. Let's check. Number one, this is the first checking we are going to have over here, that the Constitution originally provided for a two-tier system of government that we are having in India. There is a two-tier system of government, that is two level. The union government, or you can say the central government we are having in India, representing the Union of India. So it is also known as Union of India, Union government, or the central government. And the next level of government in India we are having, that is the state government. Later on, a third level of federalism or government was added in the form of panchayats and municipalities also, that we can say local government. So see, this is the third level of government that we are enjoying in India, that is the local government known as panchayats or municipalities. They used to look into the affairs, into the local affairs or the regional affairs of the particular area. So it passed the test of first feature of federalism, because the first feature of federalism was that there may be, or there are, two or more levels of government. So India is having three levels of government. First of all, it was having two levels, union, central government and state government. Now it is having another, that is the local government, or you can say the panchayat and the municipalities also. So now we can say very fortunately that India is also passing this test. India has passed this test of first feature of federalism, that there are two or more levels of government. That was the first feature. So let us see here, over here, if you will test India with the first feature of federalism, then the test is passed by our country. So we can say if there will be only one feature, then we can say that yes, of course, that India is based in India is our country is based on the principles of federalism. Okay, let us continue. Let us check some more things with India, whether really it is a federal country or just this is passing the first test only. Let us see. Jurisdiction of each level of government has been specified in the Constitution. It has been specified in the Constitution that each level of government will have jurisdiction, means the boundaries where they will act. So all states in the Indian Union do not have identical powers also, as it is a holding together federation. So India is passing another feature, that that is the second type of government or second type of federalism, that India is passing that test also, because it is holding together federation and India has divided or shared its power between different states. You can see over here some states enjoy special status such as Assam, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, and even Mizoram. They enjoy some special powers that is really laid down in the provisions of the Constitution of India through Article 71. due to their strange social and historical substances, है ना? So because these states, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Assam, they are enjoying some special powers. Even Maharashtra is also there enjoying this Article 371 because they have some special and historical changes or type of people or some circumstances. So in holding together federation, what was there that states, different states will not have equal powers. Means states will have unequal powers. So like over here, India is also enjoying and doing the things that India is also there. There few states are having more power and few are enjoying the less ones. Means you can say, we can say that they are enjoying the privileges. Even jurisdiction, we have seen that jurisdiction of each level of government has also been specified in Indian constitution कि एक states क्या कर सकता है, उसका jurisdiction है, उसका area of work क्या है, it is also mentioned in the constitution. And the third one we have seen, special powers are especially enjoyed in relation to the protection of land rights of indigenous people. Means original people can buy the land from these places only. मिजोरम, असम, नागालैंड में वहीं के लोग जो वहां के जमीन को खरीद सकते हैं. Other people from other state cannot go there and settle out there. They cannot buy. So protection of land right is also given to these particular states. Even you can say their culture and also preferential employment in government services also. So protection of their culture is also there. Means special power includes that their culture will be protected by the Indian law, Indian constitution, and even employment preference will be given to these people first. Means the people, the original people, or you can say the inhabitant of the of those states will get the preference of job first of all in government services. And if the seats are vacant, then the other people from other states will get the services of will get the opportunity to get government services. But first preference will be given to the original inhabitants of those states. And we are checking another thing. Indians who are not permanent resident of this state cannot buy land or house here. That is the thing I was saying in the first part. That protection of land rights means the permanent resident of those states can only buy land from or house at that particular state. People from other states will not be able to buy those things, buy the lands. Let us see all states in the Indian that we have covered. Let us see another, that all states in the Indian Union do not have identical powers. Means same power, they are not having same equal powers as it is holding together federation. Let us see, there are some units of the Indian Union who enjoy very little power. Like one of the state or state Bihar, there are areas which are too small to become an independence, and there are many other states also which cannot become an independent state, but could not be merged with any of the existing states also. Like we have seen that there are many union territories also in our country, so they are too small to become a state, and they cannot be merged with the existing other states also. So there is another thing in India we are having and enjoying that one also, that some units of Indian Union which enjoy very little power, and those union territories they enjoy very little power. These areas like Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, or the capital city of Delhi are called as union territories. Means these are the states or these are the places which cannot become an independent state because they are too small. So they enjoy very little power also. These territories do not have the powers of a state. Means Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, or जो capital city of Delhi hai, they do not share the powers of a state. That means the power that a state have, they do not have the powers of a state because they are not an independent state. So who takes care of in these places? The central government has special powers in running these areas. And that's why in Delhi you can see the police is under the control of the central government. Only the chief minister is looking at the administrative things. So these are also the things that we have to go through about our country also, that there are some other states and some places which cannot turn into a state because of their size. Let us move further. It is not easy to make changes to the power sharing arrangement. Yes, that is also feature, one of the feature of the federalism. And in India also, you cannot change so easily the power or the jurisdiction which is mentioned in the constitution. For changing or modifying the constitution, you will have to go through a very long process. But in unitary government, it can be changed easily because there is only one government. But in this type of federalism type of government, it is really very hard to change any or modify the constitution of a country. You can see over here, the parliament cannot on its own change this arrangement. The arrangement of sharing of the powers cannot be changed only by the parliament itself. Any change to it has to be first passed by both the houses of parliament. So we are having, we all know, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So what if you want to have a change in the power sharing or in the constitution you want to change, then both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, will have to pass that particular proposal with at least two-thirds of the majority, two-thirds of the majority. यानी two-third voting system आना चाहिए उसके फेवर में, then only we can modify or one can modify in the power sharing arrangement or in the constitution. तो two-third majority से होना चाहिए जीतने के बाद. Only that, after that only it can be changed. Then it has to be confirmed by the legislatures also of at least half of the total state. Now you can see, if the houses are passing it also, then after that also it has to be get confirmed by the legislature group of at least half of the total states. So if there are 28 states, then almost 14 of the states must pass it, confirm it also. Then only the power sharing arrangement can be changed. So it is not an easy process, my dear, to change the power sharing arrangement or to make a change or modify the Constitution of India. So it is also passing that test. In case of any dispute about the division of power, the High Court and the Supreme Court make a decision. So yes, the different powers have been given and different jurisdiction has been mentioned in the constitution. And if some dispute arises, you know, in understanding those power or in understanding those statements which have been related, which have been written in our constitution, if someone get confused, you know, what is written in that particular in our constitution, then who comes in front? The Supreme Court or the High Court comes in front to make a particular decision, and it explains, or you can say it pre-interprets the constitution, interprets the statements which is written in the constitution of our country. Such as you can see over here, that judiciary plays an important role in overseeing the implementation of constitutional provisions as well as procedures. So the judiciary over here is coming in front and playing a very good role over here, because it sees, वो देखता है, it checks, right? That balance, the system of checks and balances is going on over here with the help of this judiciary system. They are saying to it whether the provisions which and the procedures which are laid down in our constitution has been implemented properly or not, whether those system or those rules or the acts that this legislature groups of different states or the central government, whether they are working according to the constitution or not, it has to be checked. And judiciary means Supreme Court over here can check it, can see it, can make a decision also. The union and the state government, means the central and the state government, have the power to raise resources by charging taxes in order to carry on the government. That is also one of the feature that we have gone through in federalism, that state government as well as central government will have their own sources to run the government. Sources of what? Sources of getting money or revenue from the states as well as from the people, so that they can carry on the government work. So the union and the state government in India are having power to raise resources by charging taxes, and it may be differ, right? The rate of the taxes may differ according to the different states also. But now, as we have seen in India, that GST has been implemented, so there is only one tax in the nation and it is not varying. So why the state government or the central government, why they used to charge taxes? And there may be a question in your mind, why they are taking taxes from us. So let us see the answer also. They charge taxes in order to carry on the government and the responsibilities assigned to each of the states. So the state have been assigned a lot of responsibilities, such as they have to take care of the health facilities to be provided to the citizen of their state, to the people of that particular state. Even they have to take care about the study matter also, whether everyone is getting the chances of studying or not, you know. Even the state government or the central government, they will have to take care about about the construction of the roads, and even the construction of the holy places also. So they have to have some revenue also to carry on this work, all this work, you know? So they have to carry on the make they have to also see to it that the local government is taking care of the disputes that maybe arise between different persons in the states also. So they carry on with the help of the local police also. So these are the things where they have to spend a lot of money, they have to pay a lot of people to govern. So that is why they are charging taxes to take care of the law and order also in their state, to take care about the health facilities, health services that is to be given to the people, even the construction of the roads and the railways, airports. So this work has to be carried on. These are the responsibilities of a particular government, or a state government, or the central government. Even central government has a lot of expenses, and on the defense, and they will have to spend a lot of money on the defense also of the country, so that no one can attack. If someone attacks our country, then we can defend also, even we can attack. So a lot of expenses is really needed to carry on all these activities. That's why the government is to charge taxes from us, and they charge tax from us to spend on us also. Now we are going to talk about the type of the lists. Type of the list, what is it really? The constitution has clearly provided a threefold distribution of legislative powers between the union government and the state government. So the constitution has divided the jurisdiction, or the area, or the field from on which these three type of government that we are enjoying over here, local government or central and state government, they will act according to the things which have been laid down in the constitution. So the things, or the area of the work, has been divided into three lists. Let us see what are these three lists. First of all is the union list. Means the list of the list, it is the list of the powers and the functions regarding the subjects on which the national government, or you can say the central government, can only make law. That is known as the union list. Means there are some areas, or the functions, or the powers which can be there are some subjects on which the decision can be taken only by the national government or the central government. Such type of list is known as union list. So there must be some examples. Yes, of course, there are some subjects of national importance such as defense. तो डिफेंस से रिलेटेड जो भी जो है डिसीजन जो लेने का काम है, या उससे रिलेटेड जो भी फंक्शन है, इट विल बी कैरिड ऑन, और इट विल बी टेकन बाय ओनली द नेशनल गवर्नमेंट. यानी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जो ही इस पर फैसला कर सकता है, डिसीजन ले सकता है. किस कौन से मैटर्स पर? डिफेंस ऑफ द कंट्री, फॉरेन अफेयर्स, बैंकिंग, कम्युनिकेशंस एंड करेंसी. तो इन सब चीजों पर फैसला स्टेट गवर्नमेंट नहीं लेंगे. ओनली द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज द अथॉरिटी टू मेक टू टेक डिसीजंस ऑन दिस थिंग्स. They are included in this list because we need a uniform policy on these matters throughout the country. So throughout the country एक ही जैसा policy रखना है ना? If the same policy has to be carried out throughout the country, then only those matters or those important fields of activities are included in the union list, such as banking is there, And the same type of banking should be implemented throughout the country, even same type of currency to be followed in throughout the country. Foreign affairs, or according to the if we talk about the defense of the country, it should be also implemented throughout the country. So that is why these subjects have been included in the union list, you know. The union government can only make laws relating to the subjects mentioned in this union list. So what are those subjects? Banking, communication, currency, foreign affairs, and defense are the subjects on which the union government can only make laws. So better you remind, my dear students, keep it in your mind that only these matters can be handled by the central government only. Hmm? Means state government cannot interfere on these matters, communication, currency, foreign affairs और defense से मामला में, है ना, related to defense also. अब state list को देखते हैं. The list of powers and functions pertaining to the state government is called the state list. अब state government के काम को, जो उनके powers, उनके list, उनके functions को जो एक list में रखा गया, those lists are known as state list. इसमें क्या होता है देखते हैं. इट कंटेन सब्जेक्ट ऑफ स्टेट लोकल इंपॉर्टेंस सच एज पुलिस, ट्रेड, कॉमर्स, एग्रीकल्चर, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, लैंड रिफॉर्म्स, यानी लैंड के ऊपर टैक्सेस, एक्साइज ड्यूटी, टैक्स, हेल्थ, सैनिटेशन एंड इरिगेशन. एंड इन सब सब्जेक्ट्स पर कौन डिसीजन ले सकता है? द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कैन टेक डिसीजंस ऑन दीज सब्जेक्ट्स, and they are known as state lists. We will go through about the concurrent list tomorrow in our next class. So that is all today, my dear, up to here in this class. Hope that you are all fine, and stay at home and stay fine. Thanks all.
Hope that you have liked the video, and we will meet again in our next video release of the tutorial. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the information of the next release of the tutorial. Please share it with your friends and others also. Thank you for the time being. Take care. Stay at home. Bye bye. Take care.